If you've been trapped under something heavy or otherwise indisposed this summer, you may be unaware that three Texas born journalists, Jason Stanford, Brian Burrow, and Chris Tomlinson, wrote and published a book this June called Forget the Alamo. After weeks of glowing newspaper reviews and media hits with fellow navel-gazing journalists, the three appeared at the Bexar County Courthouse for a book event hosted by a county commissioner. Here's what Chris Tomlinson had to say about the book's intent.
I do want to point out that this is an argument. It's not a textbook. We're making a case for a point of view. You may disagree with our point of view. I respect that. I don't expect you to change your mind if you don't want to.
Oh, so it's an argument and we're free to disagree. Sounds American enough? Former Land Commissioner Jerry Patterson has openly disagreed with the book's premises and facts. Historian Dr. Kevin Roberts of the Texas Public Policy Foundation has likewise disagreed. We at Copano Bay Press have written multiple fact checks. So how does Mr. Tomlinson feel about challenges to his argument?
Well, I think people like Governor Patrick and former Land Commissioner Jerry Patterson are seizing on our book to kind of localize the debate over the 1619 project. We've seen Dan Patrick and the Texas Public Policy Foundation draw a parallel between Forget the Alamo and the 1619 project. I am honored to be in that kind of company, but for the conservative audience, that's a dog whistle. And frankly, it's a racist dog whistle. It's one that says, oh my God, they're challenging white supremacy. We need to shut them down.
So disagreement with the book's facts is a racist dog whistle. Doesn't sound like he respects you if you disagree with him. I'd like to ask Mr. Tomlinson, if it's a racist dog whistle, why can you hear it? No media outlet has beat the drum louder for the book than the San Antonio Express-News. On August 4th, they hosted what they billed as an All Things Alamo Q&A with their in-house Alamo experts. No surprise that Chris Tomlinson was one of them alongside reporter Scott Huddleston. When asked about our factual challenge to the idea that slavery was the root of the Texas Revolution, pointing out that many Mexican states, like Texas, rebelled against Santa Anna's dictatorial whims in favor of federalism, Tomlinson demonstrated his ignorance of basic Texas and Mexican history.
First of all, federalism really is kind of a code word for slavery.
Say what? Federalism is also a code word for self-governance and elected leadership. It's also a code word for economic self-determination.
It was the federal system that allowed Texas Ecologia to have slavery while it was outlawed in the rest of Mexico. There is no doubt that multiple provinces rebelled when Santa Anna suspended the Constitution of 1824. But the difference is in how they rebelled and why. No other province was actually fighting for independence. They were fighting for their constitution. They were fighting for their country, for Mexico. The Anglos, on the other hand, they had a different agenda.
Chris is, of course, very wrong. A Federalist rebellion occurred in Zacatecas in 1835, about a year before Texas declared her independence. They may well have declared independence too had Santa Anna not marched there personally and put an end to it in May of 1835. He then allowed his men to sack the place and unburden the citizens of their property. And then there was Texas, opposition to a centralist dictator and a government that changed hands about every 10 minutes, appeals to become a separate Mexican state, and then a declaration of independence, and you know the rest.
No other province was actually fighting for independence.
Next, Alta California, aka Nueva California, declared independence in 1836, an act of protest against Santa Anna's centralist Siete Leyes. They said they'd do their own thing unless or until Mexican centralists went away. This was their declaration of independence, and this was their Lone Star flag.
No other province was actually fighting for independence.
January 1840, Republic of the Rio Grande, formed by Federalist insurgents against, you guessed it, the centralist government. Coahuila, Nuevo Leon, and Tamaulipas were the states that formed the independent but ephemeral nation. Buildings in Laredo fly the six flags of Texas plus a seventh, the flag of the Republic of the Rio Grande.
No other province was actually fighting for independence.
1839, down in Tabasco, another Federalist rebellion began. In 1841, the Mexican government blockaded the port of San Juan Bautista to threaten the Tabasco economy, so the state declared independence. The Texian Navy sent the Austin, the San Bernard, and the Zavala to assist the Federalists.
No other province was actually fighting for independence.
1840, Yucatan, more Federalist rebellion. The Texian Navy assisted them in their rebellion just as they were doing next door in Tabasco. Yucatan formally declared independence in 1841. This was their flag.
No other province was actually fighting for independence.
Well, that was easy enough. So, other than capitalistic motives, what's the end game here? What do these guys want? I'll let Chris take it home for us.
I like to say, all we've done is we've shifted the perspective so that it's not the 100% focused on the Anglo so-called heroes and expanding that picture to a wider, more panoramic perspective. And when you do that, then suddenly the young men rushing the walls of the Alamo on behalf of Santa Anna to defend their sovereign nation from being split apart by foreign invaders who'd crossed the border illegally, the day that we can honor those Mexican soldiers as having fought for their country with bravery as much as we honor the people who fought from within the Alamo, then I think we can start having a conversation about reconciliation and an honest accounting.
Until next time, God in Texas, y'all.